Bushyhead's house. In today's discussion, we will be talking about the controversial topics of wall building, abortion, feminism, and women's rights. Now, without any further delay, let me introduce to you our candidates. Representing the Democrats, Kinky Friedman. Now, representing the Republicans, Greta Girth. Wow, it's not as hideous as her last name. Now, without any further delay, let's get into the topics that people enjoy the most. So, Ms. Girth, what are your thoughts on my wife aborting her child? You know what? Forget that. What are your thoughts on abortion, you know? It's pretty cool.
Thank you, Ben. Now, I know abortion can be a very sensitive subject, but my views on it is that it's absolutely terrible. Why would anyone want to kill a human being that's growing inside of them? It just doesn't make sense.
Goodness.
Clearly, you do.
We heard that. And so what you're saying is a fetus is a living human being. Okay. So do you believe abortion is morally wrong?
Yes, I do agree that abortion is morally wrong, and I know that from personal experience. When I was 19 years old, I got pregnant from a one-night stand, and I just physically could not have the child, so I aborted it. And it was the worst experience in my life. I recommend it to no one. How they did it was they stuck a plunger inside of my lady parts. And they suctioned the head out, and then they stuck pliers, and they twisted each limb off and pulled it out one by one. It's the most terrible experience. I wish it upon no one. And that's why I believe it's morally wrong.
So, Kiki, do you believe abortion is morally wrong?
Abortion? Is that like when you launch a rocket and something just goes oh so terribly wrong and you gotta cancel the mission?
No, Kiki. Abortion is the killing of Abortion is a termination of a pregnancy.
So what you're saying is that you abort a child before it's born? I mean, that just doesn't make any sense. I mean, you abort a rocket launch after you launch it, but you don't abort a child after it's born. Okay.
Kinky, you ignorant piece of crap. You make my skin crawl with all these disgusting remarks you're making.
You know, Kinky, I think you're misinterpreting the meaning.
Hey, let's just all calm down. So, we don't want to get our panties in a knot here. We don't want to make a mess. I mean, let's just. You know, if I'm being honest here, I may not know a single absolute thing about whatever the hell we're talking about.
Clearly.
Yeah, but you know, since the pretty little lady over there said it was wrong, I'm gonna have to agree. You know, I think it's also bad.
Thanks, Kinky. What a smart man you are, because I am always right.
Yeah, always right, but you know, like, aren't you left-handed? That makes you always left, right? Which also makes you a liar. So, you know what they say about liars.
Well, now, Greta, Kinky does have a point.
Whatever. How about we just abort this conversation?
Yo, my jeebus! What in titty tickling tarnation did you just say? How could you say something so barbaric? How could you?
You should be ashamed of yourself, woman! Now, everybody, let's just calm down. Talk about something much less significant. Women's rights.
Are you kidding me? Women should have the same rights as men do.
Cool it, lady. I'm talking to the man in the room. Proceed, my brother.
Alright, but you know what I'm saying? You know, like, women's rights, what the hell is that? I thought we all had rights, right? Don't we? It says it in the Constitution. We all have rights. I think it is personally racist and sexist to only say that women have rights too. Come on, Ben. How can you agree with this? How can you betray dude kind?
Dude kind? What is that? Is that some kind of activist group that hates the carriers of life?
Well, actually, you know what? As a matter of fact, it is an activist group that I take part in and march in every day. You know, because men have rights too.
Dude, oh my god. Oh, get wrecked, sis. Do you even march, bro? Sis?
Yes, I support women's rights. No, I don't march. Because why march? When there's 100 screaming women out there, we walk around in the heat and there's no change for what we do. It's just outrageous. Why would I do it? Why would I put myself through it?
So let me get this straight. What you're telling me is, if that women want change, they don't need to speak up about it. They just need to avoid the pointless protest and just do nothing.
No.
But I mean, go women's rights. Anyways, on to the next topic. So, do you believe that the United States has a problem with, immigrants, drugs, and dangerous criminals from entering the U.S.?
You know, absolutely, Ben. You know, the other day, I had a Mexican mole rat burrow underneath my trailer park, so I drop kicked that motherfucker. And after that, I felt really bad because I thought about all the American mole rats that could have burrowed underneath my trailer park. But this one Mexican mole rat, you know, took over my trailer park, and that made it an immediate loss for all American mole rats. So that's why I deported that mole rat 30 feet in the air.
Well, I was delighted to hear your input, King. It sounded very personal. A pointless point of view, you know? So, what do you think about it, Greta?
Well, hearing that story of those poor, homeless, jobless American mole rats really just broke my heart. So, if anything, I also strongly agree that illegal immigrants are harmful to this country.
Wow. That was very good answer. The feminists would almost be proud. Now, this leads to my next question. What are your thoughts on building a wall to separate us from the beaners? I mean, separate us from Mexico.
Kinky.
Oh, you know what? I just think we're not building enough of them because, you know, when I think about my trailer park back home, you know, my bedroom has 4 walls. 4 walls make a room. So I don't see why we're just not making 4 beaner walls. I mean, it only makes sense.
I mean, yeah, I don't see anything wrong with that. That was a very valid point, Kingster. Had some great things to point out today, and I appreciate it. And I think the snowflakes would be very proud, you know. And of course, Miss Gerthy, your points were almost valid. You did a fantastic job, and I believe that both of you deserve a pat on the shoulder, you know. Well, that concludes the debate. I'll be leaving to Mexico. Deuces. Jesus Christ. Can I go home now? On the camera? It's like a Kellogg's commercial. Women's rights.
Right? Or left? I mean, I don't even know. But, no. That wasn't funny.
So, let me get this straight.